Alright, my end's rolling, we got the cameras rolling, everything's going. I hope we don't have cameras seeing as this is an audio, but hello everyone! And welcome to another Toonkind FPS! I am Vwild, one of your humble people today, playing one of my interesting characters, not my monkey for once. And I am joined by the fabulous and wonderful, really sweet, has an excellent character and an absolute delight. Please introduce yourself, my buddy.
Can't do this to me when I'm sleepy. Hi. I'm Apotheosis Case. Today I'll be playing with TikTok Chicken.
Get affectioned.
I love how at this point everyone in Toonkind D&D just uses the intro as a way to establish affectionate dominance.
Exactly. I do it to everyone, and so many people forget I do it every time when I'm like, so, can I intro us? Sure, brilliant, I'm gonna love bomb ya. It's so effective. But we're not focusing on us today. We're focusing on our ticked off chicken, our T.O.C, and our other one of. Let's set the scene. I think let's dive in. Of just it's been a while since like the events of Apotheosis. That was a time. That was a time. How's T.O.C doing after all of that?
Ow.
Ow.
They're doing better than they were. But I think that it's kind of a mix of recuperating themselves because empty pitchers and airplane masks and etc. But also being like, okay, this was legitimately traumatizing for first of all, Cassie.
Mm-hmm.
And then like just go down the line of people who were in the anti-magic field.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly including them, maybe, you don't know. I think unless you have a scenario in mind, I'm going to say that it is fairly early morning.
Mm-hmm.
The air has that wonderful like crystalline bite to it that it seems to lose around 8 a.m.
Oh, lovely. That is fun to go out on a run in.
I think actually T.O.C's in their rooftop garden. They woke up early and they made it upstairs to there. And they're just kind of dozing because they're in their happy place. They're in their garden.
Aww, that's adorable. And there is someone who's been, thinking of paying a visit, especially after, at the end of Apotheosis, just hopping into the void. Just her work was done. Bye. Just away she went, which did, of course, cause problems in the made T.O.C scream. T.O.C, I'm so sorry. But she's decided she liked that chicken. That chicken had an interesting design. That chicken's fun. She wants to get to know that chicken more. She wants that chicken. So she has there has been other business to tend to, a lot of other business. I look at an entire other story arc that Mira's just kinda dabbling in and then walking away from, and then dabbling in and then walking away from. She's doing good at her job. She's getting so much money. But she is gonna. She knows where T.O.C lives. She's asked her boss. So, are there any buildings nearby this one?
Oh, absolutely. This is the roof of Juniper's apartment. So I think Babel has kind of consistently described it as a mechanic shop on kind of the leaner side of town.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we've established establish what's on either side, but it's in a fairly populated urban area.
All right. And this is where I do a impulse control roll for Mirror to see whether she sticks to the form she started with or whether she decides to change form because she found an interesting design. That's a 6.
Oh boy.
Well, so that's a 9 in total. Listen, she liked chicken.
She liked chicken.
She liked chicken. I do this for her, and she just sits here and goes, "I want to change form now." That was the wrong roll. That was the 6+3. So T.O.C, would you mind doing me a favour of you're dozing, you're having a nice time. Would you roll me a perception, please?
Oh, a perception, I'd love to. Oh, dang me.
Diddly dee. Roll the dice.
Okay, I guess I struggle to remember how to use Avery.
It's a exclamation mark R space and then you roll the thing.
Thank you. Nope. Okay.
It's RJ put me through it a lot of times. Ooh, 29. All right. That is fun. So with that, you're dozing, you're lazing. It's comfy, man. You've got everything exactly right. This is the perfect place. And then just off to one side, like as though it's coming from a building over, you can hear it faintly because it's a familiar noise in a way. The flap of bird wings, just flap, 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 flap. And then I think just that it comes again, just flap, 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 and then a pause, and then a perfect goddamn recreation of your chicken noise, just.
I think the initial sound of wings, they sort of looked around because they do have a winged daughter, Cass. Not Cassie, Cass.
Ooh,
although I guess Cassie does have wings. There's a number of different adoptable folks in T.O.C's life who have wings. And they love them all very much. So I think that they started off sort of like looking around like, oh, does Cass need parenting advice? What the fuck?
What the fuck indeed.
And they regretfully unpotato themselves. They pull out their pitchfork, just in case. It's
bless.
They're not expecting trouble, but also case in point, them.
Yeah, God's bless.
Would a chicken normally be a problem? Maybe not. You don't know.
I mean, this is Inkwell. Anything can be a problem.
Mm.
Just ask Lynn. She'll give you a paranoid ramble on it. But yeah, rolling off that 29. Now you're looking around. You're trying. You're trying to find. I will let you use that roll or roll investigation, whichever one you would like. Would you like to keep the 29?
I think I'd like to keep the 29.
Alright. You do see, just like, with how the morning light is cutting through things, with the fog, just, you do see over, it catches your eye and then you turn, like, full on chicken turn head. But over on the roof next to you, the fog has been disturbed in that way that happens when a bird beats its wings, of just another flap, 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 flap. And T.O.C? That's another chicken.
Mm.
But that's another chicken that looks exactly like you.
Oh boy. Angry eyebrows and all?
Angry eyebrows and all. It does. You can roll insight if you like. But it is just there. Just standing there. Flap, 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 flap.
Sure, they'll roll insight. Why not? This might as well happen.
This might as well happen. Look, it's your life. 15. Alright, with a 15, this chicken seems happy.
Mm.
This isn't a angry eyebrows of I am ready to square up and fight. Or even it doesn't even feel sinister. It just feels as though, oh look, fellow chicken. And the flaps are happy.
Mm.
Looking directly at you.
I think that they just sort of like, they regard this. Well.
Oh my god, we got a chicken standoff. This is.
I think that they. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just thinking, you know that, and I looked at him and he looked at me confrontation thing.
Yeah.
There's just two chickens on two roofs.
The thing in my head was the who is that that strange dog?
Yes.
Who is he?
And neither of these are a he.
But yeah, I think that T.O.C will in Toon Sign Language be like okay, so you're either a manifestation of several things that have gone wrong in my life, a dead god, or an incredible coincidence.
In Mira's head, there's certainly a, well, that's an interesting trio of things.
One of those things is not like the other.
And there is just another little head bob. And then signing with the exact way that you position your feathers to do it. Like, down to a T. And just none of the above, I don't think. Permission to come over?
The T.O.C squints, but they will nod. You get the idea that they're like, is it worth being paranoid enough to worry about vampire shit at 6 a.m.? Probably not. Anyways.
Probably
but
not.
they will sign. Say again?
I just mirrored you with a probably not.
So sorry, I'm having a terrific time. T.O.C is just exasperating.
Yeah, I know. Mirror does that to people.
I think they will comment like, well, for any of those three, I think the only way to make any of them stranger is if you didn't know.
Is that a common occurrence? And then she's just like, this chicken does just like pace on the roof, just trying to find a nice angle to jump over. And they are making the happy chicken noises. Just this chicken is so delighted. This chicken is also having a fun time realizing all these noises.
It's fun fact: chickens purr.
Oh, that's friggin' delightful. So you have got a purring chicken on this other roof. And then I thought your acrobatics was higher than that. Doesn't matter, that's a 21.
There we go.
Just, there is the brace, and then just hopping over. And it is a good jump. It is a good jump. Just airborne, flappy, 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 flappy. The scrabble of the, like, the feet when this other chicken just touches down, and then the fluff up.
I think T.O.C can tell this is a young person, right?
With the insight roll, in fact, roll me an insight roll at advantage.
Sure.
Insight or investigation, whichever's higher.
Very much insight.
Mm-hmm.
They are but a salt of the earth chicken. First was 26.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go with a 26.
All right, 26. That does beat the passive deception. It's, yeah. And I'm gonna say because with changelings, they actively have a thing where people try to discern things about them. Like, the changeling gets advantage on masking everything. However, Mirror today is actively just not trying to be deceptive, just trying on a nice form. So, yeah, T.O.C, for all this chicken looks exactly like you. Like, down to the signs of age and everything, that any that you have. Yeah, no, there are the vibes of this is a young chicken. Not quite baby, but you'd want to say, like, sort of the vibes of someone in their 20s, perhaps. Just young enough to be a bit of a shit.
They are very familiar with that age.
I thought they'd be.
And I think that they do kind of blink because something has occurred to them. I don't think they're going to share it quite yet, but they're just like, oh, okay. Anyways, and they're like, well, I'll be honest, the last thing I can think of is that you're a harbinger of doom. But don't let that stop me from being hospitable. Have you had breakfast?
I mean, yes, but it was several hours ago because we get up early because we all have fun jobs. Also, hi, and I'm not anything of doom. We've met before. It's great to see you again. Hi.
Name?
Oh, you want my name?
Or something to call you. They look done. Fuck, it's face shit.
The absolute vibe from that earlier insight roll, this chicken is smiling with their eyes. They haven't blinked. In fact, with that roll, this chicken hasn't blinked once this entire time. That is something you all of a sudden just realize with how they keep looking at you. There has never been a moment of blink.
I mean, that's very in character for chickens.
True. God, this is a brilliant cover form.
Although I will say, did she get the eyelids right? Because chickens have that second, that reptilian like second eyelid to keep the
Oh,
dust out.
she'd have
Um,
it, but even that wouldn't have been activated because Mira's changeling feature. She doesn't blink unless she actively forces it.
mm-hmm.
She
Uh,
sometimes gets a good grade in emoting when she squints her eyes shut real tight. Hmm.
honey.
Well, I know your T.O.C. So,
Last I checked.
well, glad to hear that. Glad I got the right person. And glad it's you here, otherwise I'd have to fight you, and I don't want to do that because you're nice. And also, this is a nice roof of a nice person. We like this client. But, well, this is going to throw away part of the game, which I'm mildly sad about, but you may call me Mira.
Hello, mirror.
And yeah, there is a giggle from the chicken. Not a chicken giggle, no, this is the chick. This is her giggle.
Funnily enough, T.O.C. also, that's the one like people noise they can make is like a human sounding laugh.
Oh god, I love them.
Just two eldritch abominations chilling out.
Chilling out, having a fun time, as you do.
I think that they're just like, hello, mirror. Would you like a cup of tea?
Ooh, I'd love one. Let's go. Do you mind if do you want me to stay in this form? Is this okay with you? I can change into another form if you like.
I would not presume to tell you what to do.
I'm going to stay in this one for now, and then I might change later. It's a wonderful form. I love it. Flap, 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 flap.
He's just like, I'm glad they're not overly fond of it. I mean, it gets the job done, but it is very heartwarming to see Mira taking so much joy in it.
Mm-hmm. And she does just like, she full on does a little circle, does another, it's basically preening. It's, look how cool I look. I look fabulous. This form is amazing. And
T.O.C. like claps the obliging laugh of like a parent who's being shown off to.
ah. But after doing that, she is just gonna like stand and just go. So inside, outside, I'll follow your lead.
Why don't I bring it out? It's too nice of a morning to be inside.
Oh, indeed. I'll stay up here. And then she goes to the exact position you were in before and loafs there. It's if anyone walked up, if anyone had been up earlier, looked out, seen T.O.C. up here. T.O.C.'s still up there.
Oh boy. Identity theft is a crime.
Not to mirror! It's a hobby!
I think T.O.C. will go pick out a couple of nice teacups and brew up the equivalent of some PG tips. And I think rather than like grabbing like some toast or whatever, they'll go into the bag of mixed seeds that they have for snacks, and they'll pour a couple of bowls.
Ooh.
Because they might as well give me the authentic chicken experience.
We love to see it.
just like sunflower seeds and caraway seeds. Um,
Ooh.
a couple different grains, just like decadence if you're a chicken.
Chicken decadence.
Um,
Marvelous.
they'll come up and they'll start to set things up and be like, well, how have you all been?
Oh, I've been really good. Business has been going well. Everything's been going pretty calm. Well, all things considered.
Good.
We are running a few cases. I can't talk about them for obvious reasons, but it's been fun. And
Mm-hmm.
we've got some I got friends. It's delightful. We're having a great time. We're all starting to parkour together, and it's great, and it's fun, and no one's gone off a building, and I've been doing great at my job, and I've got so many wonderful forms.
I think they will clarify. I take it this is something you do frequently.
Perhaps.
I'm glad it seems to bring you a lot of joy.
It does. And I have permission. I have a very good boss.
Mm-hmm. How is Lynn?
The detective's doing well. Boss has been busy recently. Quite a few events going on, as always. She's doing pretty solid, I
Mm.
think. She's the boss as always. Always in control.
Mm. Maybe pour some tea rather than answer because well, I will mention by the way that T.O.C would have checked in on they checked in first and foremost on like the kids.
Mm-hmm.
But as Lynn was bedridden, T.O.C would have at least sent word and like some like healthy treats, some soup. Even if they weren't uh allowed up to like CC her.
Bless. Which amuses me to no end because straight after Apotheosis, she immediately went into a high stakes rescue game right after that.
Oh God.
It's, yeah, Fifth Nickel was a time. Lynn did not leave the house for a good few weeks after that. Most of it was spent sleeping. Because almost having a heart attack and then going through all of that. Yeah, you just gotta have your naps.
Please just stay there and please don't rescue any more people until you're up for it.
She's trying. She's trying. But she would have appreciated the gesture. Probably sent back like a thank you letter with a thing of seeds.
Depending on the time of year, the seeds have already been planted. Actually, I take that back. If this was probably at this point, they're probably still in the greenhouse or the cold frame.
Nice.
I'm sorry. In a world of talking chickens and elves and dragons, the garden is what I insist on realism on.
I love you. Incredible.
But I think T.O.C will pour some tea and offer one of the little bowls. It smells delightful.
I don't
Like
think.
it's just seeds, but like these smell like really good seeds. Whether or not Mira would uh normally go for that sort of thing.
Mira will go for almost anything to keep a cover, and just because she likes experiencing new things.
She's valid.
Indeed. So I think she'll wait until T.O.C has tried them so she knows how to replicate the right gesture.
Mm.
But yeah, she's gonna enjoy this. She's gonna be very happy.
I think if she's paying attention, she'll notice that T.O.C. does both peck them right out of the bowl and like picks them up with their weird little feather hands.
Mm.
Especially when they're recuperating. There's definitely a mix of both.
Bless.
Mm.
So Mira does copy and then just go, and what about yourself and yours? Hmm?
Well, it's. I'm not sure if you would have heard that we are planning a wedding, and they
Oh!
do a happy little wiggle.
Oh, congratulations!
They are so happy to be here. I am planning a wedding, and it is to the best person I have ever met. So I think that's the only part of it I have a good grasp on. But I've also been able to meet up with um, one of the people that I have been worried about, and confirm that he is doing better. I went time traveling.
Time traveling?
That was great. Yep. I take a sip of tea.
Hmm. How does that work?
Pretty well. Let's see. I went to the library the other day.
Ah,
I got
library.
yelled at.
Which library?
The Toontown Public Library.
Noted. You get the distinct vibe off of her that just she's gonna track down someone.
Oh my god! Please, this is my full spoiler alert. This is my version of the Toontown Public Library, which is run by an ancient bronze dragon.
She can take him. She can take him. You just commit a little minor chaos in the background to just be a minor nuisance. And then you leave.
T.O.C. waves a hand and is just like, no. I was also screaming at them.
In a library?
Figuratively. Say again?
In a library?
They just for at the fact that they do sign language.
Ah. If it does become a problem, I could always inform the boss. She's good at handling people's problems and making them go away.
Appreciated. But it honestly, my library experiences wouldn't be the same if I couldn't look forward to having a really good old person battle. Like when you get to a certain age and you start to slow down in life, you just wanna scream at people your own age.
Of course, the enrichment. I understand.
They nod like, yeah, you get it, the enrichment.
Well, we love to see it. We love to see it. That's the correct phrase. I like that phrase.
I love the idea of Mira going off to cause chaos in the Toontown Public Library, but rather than Hildegard, who like mans the front desk dealing with it, it would probably fall to Reverend Your Glue, the janitor. And that would be a really interesting FPS.
Oh boy! Janitors are beloved and we're not gonna cause problems for them on purpose at the same time. Oh boy! God.
Regardless, I think T.O.C. will think it over and be like, it's been restful. I am grateful that things turned out in Apotheosis the way that they did.
Indeed. Another successful case.
T.O.C nods, yes, another one. Definitely they have more than one case under their belt.
There is a couple of like eating the seeds, drinking the tea, and then there is just another pause, and then just. And you've said about circumstances recently, but are you sure you're alright?
It is a fiddle. I can bounce back from a lot, believe me.
I can tell. I can tell.
And I think I'm going to give this to Mira for free because she is they fuck.
Both she and they. She's a she they.
Hell yeah. She can notice for free that T.O.C favors their left wing. To like it's an old injury, but it's like it affects a lot of range of movement. So it's probably also a very large injury. But I mean, despite that, they seem very comfortable just sitting here in their garden having tea with you.
She's looking at. She is like looking at that vaguely. It's. You can't always tell exactly where Mira is looking just by sheer. Sometimes it just looks as though she's looking everywhere at once. It's a bit disconcerting.
Especially with the chicken eyes going in different directions.
Yes. Oh god, I forgot about that. That's delightful. But she is thinking, especially as her boss has a grievous injury on the left side of the body that sometimes, every now and then, limits movements.
Oh my god. The next episode is gonna be so much fun.
Mira has never seen the injury because Detective Stagehand has never allowed it. At the same time, there's the understanding it's there. You've been through a lot of experiences, haven't you?
I've had my share. I think that they kind of look around. Like there's little parts of this garden that like you can see. Like obviously it's all their space. It's all of it, you know. It's all a reflection of them in some way, shape, or form. But like, there's a weird sort of square spot off in the corner that you're not quite sure what that's for. Hint, it's the parking spot they made for the ellipsis. There's like this was all, you know, designed in a very efficient way by the engineer that they live with. Like there's just little aspects of the space that like are colored by their experience, and they kind of look around it with this sense of fondness and satisfaction.
You've built a good life for yourself. That's good.
Yes. And in a relatively short span of time.
Ah! How long have you been around then?
Active or existing?
I love it when there's a distinction. Let's go both.
Existing, somewhere north of 65. Active, maybe getting on a year.
Oh. Oh, that explains something on that front. Oh, but 65, that's... for a chicken.
To be fair, I had help.
Oh! I thought you were barbarian.
They kind of look up like, yes, and
I mean, usually help like that. I'd assume warlock.
no, well, in this case it would be cleric, but or I guess paladin. But no, I would sign very little with that individual. Not that they're malicious, perhaps, but a nuisance and annoying, and I would have cooler people to sell my soul to.
Ah, yes. There are some wonderful gods out there. I'm fond of my god. But is your god alright? Is there anything we need to help with?
Well, they're lightly missing. They're not entirely missing because gesture, it's like they gesture at themselves like that's evidence of something. And I think that they stop and they wait and they go, "You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? I'm so sorry. Hang on."
Waiting.
They kind of like reschool their thoughts and they go, "Well, it's I started life as a relatively normal chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I have been looking. I had a reason to wish not to be a regular chicken anymore. A passing god heard me. And granted my wish with a price, but there always is.
Of course.
And so roughly a year ago, I woke up and I have been trying to complete my mission ever since.
Oh. Intriguing. Well, now I know why the boss knows you came out the woods. But what's your mission, if I might ask? Perhaps we can help. I mean, if that's something you want. I mean, what would happen to you afterwards?
What was the last question?
What would happen to you afterwards?
Well, I like to think that their craftsmanship is such that I would last. It's not I have to do things and then I'll pass on. I the little girl who took care of me and my sisters reached a point where the adults in her life were not taking care of her as she deserved. And so I made a wish as I made a wish as I died that I could be enough to be her family, stronger and smarter, enough to navigate the world of tunes. And I was granted that wish, but the god who found me is the god of long periods of time. And their price was time. A lot of time. And so my girl had time to grow up and have her own adventures and apparently get herself in a great deal of trouble. And it's taken me a very long time to even find out where she is. And soon I will go get her.
I'm glad you found her again. Even if it did come at cost. I haven't died yet, but I've heard that it's scary to some.
T.O.C makes kind of a face and like takes a sip of tea, like, I guess it's happened enough that like they're kind of desensitized.
Mm-hmm. Mira suddenly thinking of the giant injury on the left side of T.O.C. Oh, that's how you died! Oh, that's how you died! Okay. She's
When
not...
you're a very small critter, like, even a fox bite, takes up the left side of your person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mira is not going to say this out loud because even Mira knows Mira's had enough talks on how to people to go, you don't bring this shit up just randomly over tea.
T.O.C is absolutely the sort who would bring this shit up over tea, case in point.
I love these two and how they're both eldritch to various extents.
Absolutely.
And she does just have her tea and just go, I had wondered about you after something I saw during the Apotheosis Case, but glad to clarify it in this way. When the Thormavor event occurred, you you stopped being you for a moment. Or, well, you were still you, weren't you? You were you from before.
They look acutely embarrassed. After a fashion, yes. As I said, the god who heard my wish is a dying one. And they're a bitch if they can hear us. They sign a little bit larger, and they kind of look around. Because that is a thing sometimes the dead god does. If you're talking about him, he just sort of like pops their head in, like, hi.
Invoke their name enough, and they'll start paying attention to you.
I mean, not even that. They just watch the chicken like daytime television.
Oh my god. Chicken o'clock. Or check in on the chicken.
I think you mean chicken o'clock.
Yes.
But they were they were on their way to pass on peacefully. That didn't happen for multiple reasons.
Good reasons?
But
bad reasons? Reasons we need to get involved with?
They, I think, had an imperfect idea of what Einquell is. They wanted to. Have you heard of the Bog of Bewilderment?
Should I roll a history?
Yes.
Alright. That is a history. 7 plus 4, so that's an 11.
You're familiar. It's not that far from Toontown. It's mostly like, there's a lot of like fae dealings and like hostile fae, steal the children fae. And as a result, a lot of strange customs have come out of there. But it's mostly, you've heard it in the context of don't go there.
Yeah, there was I'm pretty sure Lynn and the other sketches would have gone, okay, Mira likes fae shit. Mira, you're not allowed near that fae shit. No.
Mm.
You already dive into enough of your changeling tropes. You're not going there.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a nod, just a vague understanding. Um, not been allowed to go there. Don't think it would be a great place. But the boss has said no, so I don't.
It is not the sort of place to visit. It is reeling from a catastrophe, a natural magic catastrophe that, well, my my girl and myself are both from there. Um,
Oh.
I was in sort of a stasis as it went on, but her life was deeply affected. And my working theory is that the the dead god chose that place to, dying's not the right word, assimilate maybe, give up their identity and become entrenched in the universe.
Oh.
Um, but the place that they did it was at Inkwell, and it was already full of ancient and unrelenting magics.
Hmm.
And so they, I'm sorry, I'm rambling about this, but
Oh, by all
all of
means,
that is to
do
say
so.
that, say,
By all means, do so. I like listening.
all of this is to say that um the magic that is keeping me together is imperfect, and easily upset, which is why I think they keep a relatively close eye on me. They've had to fix things more than once.
Hmm.
So it being cut off from that attention certainly had an effect.
I see. Well, I'm glad that you're able to come back, and I'm glad that you're still here. Hmm.
Me too. Thank you. I'm I'm glad you're here too.
There is a distinct look of, like, the fluffing happiness. There is a slight purr.
Oh, I think that like T.O.C will start to be like it. They'll say it really is very strange to,
Hmm.
well, and they take another sip of tea. Like they were going to say something, and then they thought better of it. But also, you can see it's at the tip of their beak.
Oh, go on. Tell. Tell. I like secrets. Tell me what's in your head.
I um I've never thought about it before, but the dead god's price for my wish was time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I slept through a youth and a middle age, and I have stepped out into um, a relatively late stage in life.
Hmm.
Um, I have never been young, but you are very young.
That I am.
They just smile. Like they don't seem bitter about this. They're just sort of like musing.
Hmm. Fascinating. Youth and lack of youth. Traits. It's all
Mm,
rather intriguing things. But
they are.
I will say one thing. Of You don't have to be. I saw you were embarrassed earlier. Am I allowed to say when people are embarrassed? Is that is that normal?
Depends on the situation,
Ah,
but I don't mind it.
okay, that's good to know. I like clarifying with good people, just touching in, finding out things. It makes it easier when I have to do things when I don't know the person and they're not meant to know me, because then I can dial up the unnerving or not. It's fun. But anyway, you
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to be embarrassed by your imperfections. It's I'm not from the surface. I'm from elsewhere. When I started, and I learned that imperfection is its own form of perfect. That we are all imperfect, and that makes us beautiful. And our different quirks, and our different cracks, and our different polishes, well, there's something to love. Maybe not all of them, but sometimes we can accept them. And we're all very happy to have you. After all, you have wonderful people in your life.
I do. Thank you, Mira. I I think they just sort of like they do a little chicken chirp at you, like that's good, little one, very smart.
She chirps back immediately. There is the immediate, this is a different noise. Does it?
Is Mira the sort of person to be like, oh, I can do this with my mouth? Does it forever?
Yes. There is
Yes.
there is very distinctly back at the place where all the sketches work from, and also within our own house, she just changes forms to do stuff as different people. She will just switch between forms that she likes and say things in their voices, or do things that she knows that they can do.
I think the T.O.C will just like caution her at some point. Like it's I look at Winona stuff. Like it's they didn't piss off a dragon. So like if you're gonna steal their identity, don't do it in such a way that is gonna cause problems for yourself.
Ah, don't worry, I've already had this talk from the detective. The boss has been very good at explaining these things to me, and how many forms I can take. I have a quota. I'm not allowed to go over the quota, and certain forms I'm not allowed to use in certain areas, and certain forms I can only use for specific circumstances, and certain forms I can only use in dire circumstances, and I usually use dead people. The forms you've met aren't dead, obviously. This one, well, you were dead, but you're not now. Is that rude to say?
I don't think so.
Okay. And the other form you've known of me, um, please don't tell the other people who were there that that isn't mine. We
Of
think
course.
we think it might go badly given. And she kind of does a gesture that's trying to encompass changeling trauma without directly saying it, which the interpretive dance is probably interesting, to put it lightly.
Yeah, T.O.C nods solemnly, not understanding what the fuck she is trying to convey.
The boss obviously knows, and now you know because you have a really nice design. It's really nice. It's comfy. I like it. Can I keep it?
Oh, why not?
Yay! Can I have your pronouns as well?
If you absolutely must.
You see the
Like,
absolute. You've got a high insight. You can absolutely see she is basically trying to pull Faye bullshit. She's not Faye, but she likes vibing with it.
yeah, like T.O.C saw that. Like again, they come from a very Faye, like hostile Faye heavy area. They just hate pronouns, and if you're gonna like grab theirs and run off with them, they'd be like, hell yeah. Until they realize they have to pick out more.
You know, I think she is just straight up just going to look at you and go, if I steal your pronouns, you know you don't have to choose new ones, right?
unfortunately, people continue to insist on referring to me.
I mean, understandable. You are someone that we do like to know. But you can be referred to from someone without using pronouns. Sometimes when I take other forms, they don't have pronouns, and
Hmm.
they just use their name as the thing to refer to. T.O.C. is over
Hmm.
there. We like T.O.C. Where is T.O.C.? That sort of thing. It's every time you
Mhm.
would put a pronoun, you just put T.O.C.
How do they think this over? This is very fancy. They will think this over in full later.
If you like, if you want to start doing it and you don't know how to address it with people, just say someone stole your pronouns. I will take the flak for this. They'll never catch me. I'm very good at my job.
They laugh this very like um this low, hearty, very reassuring laugh. And they go, "That's isn't necessary." It's less, I think, of a question of presentation as much as it is language is weird.
Ah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I am ready to tackle that level of linguistic complexity, but thank you for expanding my horizons today.
Happy to help. It's always fun to learn about these things. There are so many different ways to refer to people, or not to refer to people. And I like helping. It's what the boss does. And so if I can take after the boss in this way, I'm happy to.
Mm. They pour me more tea.
She, you know that one thing of the chicken out there that keeps pressing the dot and gets treats? Basically, there is that exact reaction here. Just, I did a really good thing and now I've got more tea. Huzzah! There has been reward.
Oh my gosh. They're chickens, but they're still getting cobweb pigeoned.
They are. They absolutely are. I mean, literally, the way Lynn has curbed some of the worst of the morally grey out of the sketches is just, if you do the thing I like you to do, I will give you bunt cake. I will
Nice.
give you cider, I will give you bunt cake, I will give you things that are nice that you will associate with doing good things.
Mm-hmm.
It's surprisingly effective.
Excuse me.
Bless you. But so, other than that, let's see. We've gone for a nice talk, and we've checked on stuff there, and everyone's doing all right. And
Good.
there are certain people I'm not going to check in with because if I choose the wrong form, people are going to scream, and then there's going to be problems. So we just what's the phrase? I've read it from people's minds. You put the thought in the river, and then you chuck it in the Mr. Zippy. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
So we've checked in. Um, is there anything else you and I wanted to talk about?
I can't think of.
Hmm,
I'm glad that you stopped by. This has been a wonderful conversation.
it really has. I've enjoyed it. Can I stop by again at some stage? I mean, we'll have to. I'll have to figure out the form because if other people see me, that's probably going to be bad? Question mark. Unless do. I mean,
Mm,
you had sisters. I'm not going to do anything that would do anything on that. I don't like taking forms that make people upset. But I'll pick a
that's
form. I'll pick a form because I can't use the form that I did with you when we first met because that person's cured now. But then again, they are in another area of Einquill at the moment. I'll find another form. We'll make a friend.
I don't mind you reminding me of my sisters. But if you would like to avoid their colors, they were white, gray, brown, red.
Understood. White would have been the one I immediately went to, so thank you for correcting me. I will make sure not to do that.
Perhaps a very light blue.
Ooh, I do like blue or green. Well, both blue and green. They're how to word it. One of them's my partner. He's green, and our new best friend, who's maybe our partner. He's new to us, and we like him. He's given us nicknames, and he calls me Sweet Pea. And he's great.
No.
He's great. He's great. He's a wonderful person. And the boss introduced us to him, and we like him. And he kicks my partner in the head. It's great.
They nod like,
They both like it. But they're green and light blue, so light blue might be nice. And you know the way chickens turn their head? Just they turn, look at themselves?
Yep.
She does that. And then I'm gonna check her spell list real quick to see what she has, because she's not a... Yeah, she's got alter self. There is a flap, 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 and she changes colour in front of you.
They clap like, oh, Rainbow.
And she's just sitting there now, just loafs. And she is a nice light blue now. And, and she just looks delighted.
Oh, I have an impulse. Not something to do in this conversation, but like as Mira, if Mira stays a light blue chicken heading home, that could be something that could be potentially very fun.
Ooh, well, we do love to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd had an idea how to transition this FPS into the other one we had planned.
Do you want to perhaps do you want to have them perhaps say goodbye and like we follow Mirror on their way home and have the scene and then cut back to T.O.C?
I think there will be, yeah, you know what? There will actually be a pause as she just kind of sits there for a moment, just eyes half squinted shut for a moment, and then just kind of gives an affirmative noise, and then she's just back to doing stuff with you, and then, yeah, I think she will say goodbye, and she will, like, I don't know how birds communicate bird to bird. I don't know chickens, but she will just give standard chicken goodbye.
Her head feathers are getting green fuzzily. Like, all right, be safe.
And you.
Take care of yourself.
I will. I'm very good at taking care of myself. And I have a wonderful new form. Oh, this is going to be great. I am going to use this. And then she just goes, and I know that chickens can jump off decently high things, because I have seen chickens do wild shit. And so she does just hop off the building. And so she's just gonna go on her way. Just...
Oh my god. T.O.C just like watches her until she disappears around the corner and just like, oh, lovely. And I think it's around this corner you turn when would you make a dexterity saving throw?
Will do. That is a 19 on the dice.
Ooh, plus?
19 plus 6.
A 25. All right. You round the corner and you are going to run right smack into someone who is much larger than you, as you are currently a chicken. And you just like full on matrix out of the way. Like you're set. And this other person kind of stumbles, and you hear a voice above you go, "Oh my goodness, I am so sorry, little one. Look at you." And you look up at this bright white warforged, wearing very loud clothing, with sort of this rainbowy sheen around the seams of her plating. Who seems very much like he just had to stumble out of the way of stepping on you.
Mira, looking at that form. Desire.
Would
She doesn't say, because she's not said anything. She's signed all this time, and she doesn't sign anything now. But she is taking in that form and just going, want, desire. It's white. It's built for me.
How familiar would Mira be with the Crystal and Cassie's family tree?
I'll roll a history, because she would have had a run through from the detective just on a here's people that you shouldn't take the form of for obvious reasons if you meet them, because we're not going to cause an entire scandal. It's that family's been through enough. We're not risking it for the biscuit. That is a 16 plus 4.
All right. Yes, this is Crystal and Cassie's great aunt, Lich. Who is recently in town after the events of Apotheosis, because holy shit. And let's see. Her current occupation is kooky professor.
We love to see it. We love that genre.
And yes, there's this like very bombastic body language robot who kind of like kneels down to talk to you and is just like, "Are you all right? My goodness, I must have nearly stepped on you." Fair enough.
And it's very much, Mira is almost sad that she recognizes the form as one of the ones she's not allowed to take, because, oh, come on! Look at them!
But consider robot chicken.
Ooh. You know what? You know what? How many times can she cast Alter Self? How many times can she cast Alter Self a day? Enough. She stares.
Can't changelings just shift as an action?
Yes, they can. The thing is, she's using that to maintain chicken shape.
I see. All right.
Alter Self, you can do. So, you know what? She's looking, and there is this chicken just barked at you, waited a moment, has just looked you up and down, looks you like as best as a chicken can with the eyes going in different directions. Flaps. This chicken now has armor that looks very much like yours.
Well, holy fuck.
And then she turns, and the chicken crosses the road.
I think Lich just stays there on the ground, just watches the chicken leave and then just roars with laughter because what a wonderful moment to be alive for. She was here, she was in this moment, and she got to see whatever the fuck that was.
Whatever the fuck that was, that's never gonna get explained. That's what Mira does. She comes into your life, she does weird stuff, and then you never see her again.
I think actually, she stands up, still just roaring with laughter. She's getting looks, and starts to go on her way, and then kind of a shadow crosses her face, and she looks back at the chicken, which for just a moment in the light, especially glinting off the armor, looked not pale blue but white, and she just notes that and notes that means something to her, even if she doesn't know what that is exactly, and continues on to whatever errand she was on her way to.
Delightful. Delightful. We love to see it. I am intrigued. I would also like you to know that Mira's base color is an entirely white toon, so it also makes sense on that front.
Anyway, we cut back to T.O.C, who is clearing up the tea party.
Indeed. T.O.C, you clear up the tea party, you're doing everything. There's a door down to down off the roof, right?
Yeah, I think there's 2 points of access. There's a door into the interior of the house, and then there's a way to climb down. I think not necessarily a way to climb up for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But
that's a security hazard.
Yep.
And also
a fire escape.
Yeah. And one that Lynn very much, when helping, set up this safe house in the first place, very much put certain things in place, it takes effort for people to come in, and I know that Juniper has security measures, but she would have very much gone, how about you don't have a way that someone can just climb onto your roof?
Yep. At least make them work for the B&E.
Yeah. Make them work, make it make noise, because that way you get security measures on it. But T.O.C, as you're going in, you do go through the door for this one. I'm gonna say you do go through the door for it.
Yes.
T.O.C, could you roll me Arcana or Perception, whichever one? I will let you decide.
I think Perception will go the smoothest. That's...
Brilliant. 21.
21.
So, T.O.C, you open the door, and just for a second, as you're turning the door, as you're turning that handle, the click of the door feels slightly different. And for a microsecond, blink and you'll miss it, almost as though it wasn't there. You see a orange outline just around the seams of the door. And as you open it, just a crack, just as you're starting to open it, that's not the inside of your house.
They pull out their pitchfork.
Do you open the door further?
Yes, with the pitchfork. And they look grim because where's Juniper? Where's Juniper? Where's Juniper? Where's Juniper? Where is Juniper?
What you get is it's the outside of another house. And you see, as you're opening it further, you see you want to say autumnal sky, just by sheer fact of this place is dark. It's dark, it's dim. It's early morning, but it still feels dark here, as though there's a filter over everything. And you see bare trees and other little things here and there, and with it all, roll me a history if you like.
Sure. So right now, all they're thinking is, fuck, time travel.
In fact, you know what? Roll me a history with advantage, because this is to
Thank you.
This is to place somewhere.
Okay.
Okay, that is 17?
Yes.
All right.
Actually, you said with advantage.
Yeah, with advantage. A 17 will do it, but let's see if you can go higher.
Why are you being weird? There you go.
Do you want a 17 or a 17?
I think I'll go with the 17, Chief.
Yay! It takes you a moment. T.O.C. This is Halloween Town. This is the place that Juniper's told you about because of how much Juniper loves, Halloween. That's what this place is. This place is Halloween Town. And then all of a sudden there is a toon that's taller than you. A type of dog. You'd think Upian or perhaps Frankenali. You're not entirely sure, but does seem... This is because I can't remember whether I made him Upian or Frankenali, but there is a dog in a butler's outfit, and he just looks down at you, nods, and then in sign just goes, "Ah, T.O.C. Someone has been expecting you. Right this way?"
T.O.C, who is still very much holding a couple of teacups and a teapot on a tray. Would you mind putting my door back so that I can go wash these up? I don't want the teacups to stain.
Very well. And immediately just does the butler bow, closes the door, and lets you go on your way. But you know in a minute. But
yep.
However, when you do go for the handle again, yeah, that's the inside of your house.
Nice. They go down, they wash up their teacups, and then they're like, all right, which closet seems like the most likely suspect?
It's probably... You know what? I think you can either go back to that door you were at before, or you can choose another one. I think either way, this house is well known enough that someone will go, yeah, go with this one. So, anyone you in particular choose, T.O.C.
A wiggle. I also just love the visual of like a Studio Ghibli sequence of like washing up the cups, hanging them up to dry, washing up the teapot, putting the things away. All right, goes over to a broom closet. It's rock and roll, buckaroos.
Opens it. There's the same dog as before, now holding a what's it called? Watch on a chain? Pocket watch in hand. Just a nice silver one. Closes it as soon as the door opens. Just marvelous. Right this way?
Thank you for your patience.
Of course.
They step through with dignity.
Door closes. Chicken successfully acquired. It's not a kidnapping if it goes like this.
Fair enough.
It's a chicken napping. And then I think we can either end it there or there's one final line that we can leave on as a parting one.
Oh, please.
Okay. So, T.O.C, you are led through this town full of pumpkins and ghosts and vampires and werewolves and all these sorts of things, all these incredible people of real and Toonkind. And you do end up at a building you have seen before. In fact, it was on the first day you ever met Juniper.
It sure was.
Yeah, and I think in Apotheosis you even ended up here at one point. You were at the Stagehand's Requiem. And there is this Toon, this butler Toon just gets you there, knocks on the door. Do you enter?
Yeah.
And so the door does open, and as soon as you come through, there is all the way at the other side of the building, you can see straight through to this frosted glass window, and there is a monkey Toon standing there in full detective regalia, hat on her head, just looking at the frosted glass, not at you, so you can just see her back, just going, T.O.C, I've been expecting you.
I would hope so.
And that's where we cut.
He's like, yes, you sent a butler. You're expecting me? Well, I sure hope you are. Otherwise, this is a very elaborate crank call.
Network loves this chicken. Network immediately loving this chicken. God,
oh my gosh.
That was brilliant. That was delightful.
Thank you so much for a wonderful FPS.
It was great. It was marvelous. I loved it so much.
Man. Alright, I'm going to stop the recording.
Yeah.
Thank you, future audience, for tuning in.
Bye-bye all.